Imagine the darkest days of World War II. Allied bombers are being torn from the sky by German night fighters. The losses are catastrophic. Something had to be done, but what? The solution wasn't a bigger gun or a faster plane. It was something far stranger, almost unbelievable. It was light, but not just any light. This was a secret weapon so powerful, so bizarre, that it could turn night into day and blind the enemy into submission. This is the story of the Lee Light. In the dead of night, over the treacherous waters of the Atlantic and the Bay of Biscay, German U-boats would surface under the cloak of darkness to recharge their batteries. They were invisible, deadly wolves of the sea, preying on Allied convoys. British Coastal Command aircraft were hunting them, equipped with early forms of airborne radar. The radar could detect a surfaced U-boat from miles away, but there was a problem. As the plane got closer, about a mile out, the radar signal would get lost in the sea, clutter the waves and spray. In that final, crucial mile, the submarine would simply vanish into the blackness. The pilots were flying blind, unable to see their target to drop their depth charges accurately. The U-boats would hear the aircraft, dive, and escape. It was a deadly game of cat and mouse, and the mice were winning. Enter Humphrey de Vere de Lee, a Royal Air Force officer, who wasn't an engineer or a scientist, but a personnel officer. He saw the problem and became obsessed with a solution. His idea was deceptively simple: mount a massive, incredibly powerful searchlight onto a bomber. When the radar lost contact, the pilot would flip a switch, and a 22 million candela beam brighter than a lighthouse would erupt from the aircraft, instantly illuminating the submarine. The U-boat crew, their night vision completely shattered, would be caught like deer in headlights, with nowhere to hide. At first, the idea was dismissed. The Air Ministry thought it was impractical, even foolish. A giant light on a plane, it would make the bomber a perfect target. It was too big, too heavy, and would create too much drag. Lee was told to drop it, but he refused. Convinced of its potential, he pursued the project in secret, using his own connections and working outside of official channels. He experimented tirelessly, modifying a standard RAF searchlight and figuring out how to mount it on a Wellington bomber. He even developed a special retractable mechanism so the light would unaffect the plane's aerodynamics until it was needed. Finally, after months of secret development and a demonstration that stunned skeptical officials, the Lee Light was approved. In June 1942, a Wellington bomber, equipped with the new device, went on patrol. On its very first mission, it caught a German U-boat on the surface. The light flashed on, the submarine was perfectly illuminated, and the depth charges found their mark. It was the first confirmed kill for a Lee Light aircraft. The effect was immediate and devastating for the German U-boat fleet. The night, once their sanctuary, had become a death trap. U-boat commanders were terrified. They reported being suddenly dazzled by a brilliant light out of the total darkness, followed moments later by explosions. Morale plummeted. The U-boats were forced to abandon their tactic of surfacing at night, which severely hampered their operations. The Lee Light, combined with improved radar, effectively closed the air gap in the mid-Atlantic and turned the tide in the battle against the U-boat. It was a strange, almost absurd invention, born from the persistence of one determined officer. A simple, powerful beam of light that became one of the most effective and unsung secret weapons of the war. It proves that sometimes, the most brilliant solutions aren't the most complex, but the ones that dare to shine a light in the darkest of places. Thanks for watching. If you found this piece of hidden history fascinating, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you do. I'd miss our next dive into the forgotten stories of the past. See you next time.